Growing up, I was always a big fan of the Sonic the Hedgehog games. Back in the early 2000s, when all the other kids had their fancy PlayStation 2s, I had a hand-me-down Sega Mega Drive from my cousins. Even though I was 2 console generations behind everyone else, I didn't care. I'd spent all day giving myself a headache trying to beat Sonic 3. But when I finally did get a PS2 in 2003, the one game that really hooked me in was Sonic Heroes. This was a big game at the time, and being only 7 years old, I was hyped. I was so used to playing the 2D version of Sonic that seeing this for the first time was like the next big evolution. I just had to have it. So, after a lot of waiting, I finally got my copy of Sonic Heroes for my birthday in 2004, and it quickly became one of my favourite games. Even now, it's still fun to look back on. You play as part of a team, blasting through enemies, running through the stages, all that fun stuff. It starts out pretty easy, but this game actually gets kind of hard. Like, check out this level, where you have to jump out of a chamber full of rising lava. It gives me a heart attack every time. Quick, quick, faster, faster, get to the top, quick. Just up there, quick, grab onto this, grab onto the thing. Yeah, yes. Take that, lava. Then when you finally make it, the game grades you on how badly you did. Like, what is this, a school exam? Maybe I should have done my homework before playing. After that, the game only gets harder, and by the time you reach this haunted house level, it's just sadistic. You have to fight all these giant robots and floating pumpkins. Like, I've never seen so many pumpkins in my life, and you have to bounce off them to make it across this giant chasm of blueberry jam. It's impossible. Okay, just gotta make it across here, bounce off this, bounce off that. No! What? Okay, try again. Bounce off one, and another, and another, and another. Yeah, no! Oh, I'm not into the jam. Okay, one last try. Bounce one, bounce two. Yes, there we go. Another one, yes. I'm gonna get there. This is it. No! Wait, that didn't count. Why did I ever want to play this game anyway? It's torture. Well, maybe it had something to do with the Supersonic commercials. They'd advertise this game all the time, and it looked pretty cool, even if they taunted us kids with how expensive it was.
If you have what it takes, and if you can afford them, you too can join the Sonic team.
Yeah, good luck begging your parents for that. I must have thrown a tantrum every time I saw this in the shop. One strange thing is that they used the A-Team theme to tie together the whole teamwork aspect. Because us early 2000s kids couldn't get enough of the A-Team. Well, to be honest, Sonic ads have been pretty weird ever since the start. When the first British ad for the original game ended in 1991, it had this guy sitting in a spinning chair playing the game, and he gets attacked by a slow-motion ninja.
Once you start playing Sonic the Hedgehog, everything else seems a little bit slow.
Who is this guy anyway? Mr. Sega? The focus is entirely on him. You barely see Sonic at all. That said, if I'd had a crazy Sonic spinning chair as a kid to play the games with, I'd probably still be sitting in it now.
Don't worry, I'll catch him.
When Sonic 2 came along, things just got even crazier. A hedgehog puppet gets hit by a truck, and then this mad scientist starts yelling over its dead body.
Obviously not as fast as Sonic the Hedgehog!
I don't know about you, but this is exactly what I think of when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog. It's pretty messed up. Why is there a donation address at the bottom? What if you sent money there? Did it just go straight to Sega's bank account? And who is this guy anyway? Well, it's Stephen O'Donnell, who appeared in Bottom, one of my personal favourite TV comedies. He used to front Sega's UK marketing campaign in the early 90s, while strangely, his Bottom co-star Rick Mayall used to do the adverts for Nintendo.
My friends at Nintendo have placed 4 Super Mario games on the same cart for less than 50 of your pounds. But Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels is so difficult, it could actually unhinge the balance of your mind.
Aren't you that talentless celebrity women find repellent?
See what I mean? He's completely tonto.
Isn't that strange? Were Nintendo and Sega both huge fans of Bottom or something? In fact, in one episode, you can see a poster for the game Spider-Man Maximum Carnage, which appeared on both the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive, and the episode has both Rick Mayall and Stephen O'Donnell in it. Maybe it's a subliminal message.
Welcome one and welcome all! Oh, Christ! Hedgehog and Spud Gun!
Advertising is a bizarre thing indeed. And at the end, Sonic actually swears. Look at him, he's flicking the V's. That's the type of thing that will end up getting censored in games decades later. Only in the 90s, eh?
He won't be making a comeback.
I guess he just ain't Sonic 2!
Sonic 3 was always my personal favourite game of the series, and the ad is 3 times as crazy. It's like a wacky music video.
There he is. Blue ring. He's number 1. El Primo. Out of 2, then power sneakers. Out of 2, then power sneakers. He's that good, just ain't that easy.
How come this track wasn't in the game? Then again, maybe it would have been better in the movie. The ad for Sonic and Knuckles is like a big wrestling match, with 2 huge brutes screaming at you to hype up the battle between Sonic and Knuckles. They're out of their minds.
Brett, there's only one star here! My boy Sonic! He's in the groove with fresh moves! Button his blabbermouth and check out my man, Knuckles! He climbs!
Again, it's weird how little you actually see of Sonic in these ads. I mean, he was the big mascot for Sega, so with all the cartoons and everything, you'd think he'd be mouthing off at you all the time to buy his games. Sonic Adventure was Sonic's first game for the shiny new Sega Dreamcast, but the ads just kept getting weirder, with 2 businesswomen racing each other to get out of the office. Because that's appealing to kids.
Play Sonic Adventure together on Dreamcast. Up to 6 billion players.
Yeah, I think that might be false advertising. And the ad for Sonic Adventure 2 just had a fight between 2 real hedgehogs.
Good versus evil, strong versus weak, blonde versus brown, Hedgie. Go! Go! No!
I don't know what to say about this, it's just messed up.
Time to take sides. Choose your hedgehog. It's good versus evil. It's Sonic versus Shadow in the battle for Earth. Sonic on Nintendo GameCube.
When Sonic's first game for the Nintendo Wii came out in 2007, he still didn't show up much outside of the gameplay.
The time has come to leap into Sonic's shoes.
Instead, it's some guy who I guess is meant to be like a human version of Sonic to show off the motion controls of the Wii. I mean, he has the long hair, the blue shirt, but maybe that's pushing it.
Become Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I often looked this cool when I was playing Sonic back then.
Sonic and the Secret Rings.
Well, if you actually wanted to see Sonic talking, you had to go to McDonald's. He had some Happy Meal toys in the 90s, but around the time Sonic Heroes came out, you could actually get some free games with your Chicken McNuggets, and Sonic himself appeared to promote them.
Impressive, isn't it? Some busting fast action fun, wicked Sega handheld games.
To be honest though, these games were awful. I had tons of them growing up, and they were even more basic than those cheap Tiger games they had around at the time. I think we just liked them because of the Sonic imagery on the front. That stuff was hard to come by back then, and it reminded us of the better console games we could be playing instead.
Get happy!
But if you think the British ads were crazy, then check out this last advert from Pakistan for the exact same games.
Happy Meal खाए और McDonald's से Sega games लाए. Tail Soccer, Sonic Skateboard, Rogue and Emmy Tennis, Green Puff Flower Catch, Shadow Basketball, Knuckles Baseball. जी भरकर फिर खेलें, खूब हल्ला गुल्ला मचाएं और दोस्तों को भी बतलाएं. चलो चलकर हैप्पी मील खाएं. चलो चले मैकडॉनल्ड्स से Sega games लाएं.
It's like a fever dream brought to life. What did they make this with? Microsoft Paint? The characters barely resemble who they're supposed to be. Tails looks like he has severe mental problems. Sonic is made out of Play-Doh. Shadow has stilts for legs. Knuckles looks like a Knuckles sandwich. And as for these two, the less said about them, the better. And what's up with the chirpy music? I can't even understand half of the lyrics here.
Sega games like Tails Soccer, Sonic Skateboard, Rogue and Emmy Tennis, Green Puff Flower Catch.
This whole thing is just disturbing. It makes me realise how spoiled we were to have all those other ads over here. It looks like some kind of bootleg Sonic ripoff, and yet somehow Sega let them plaster their logo all over the ad. I wonder what some of the Sonic characters would have to say about this travesty.
You're going straight to hell.
Though, jokes aside, I love this ad. I mean, it's so bad it's great. Right from the first note, it's so enjoyably tasteless. I could just picture myself seeing this on holiday in the early 2000s and losing my mind at such a bizarre interpretation of Sonic. It puts a smile on my face, and that's what it's all about.
चलो चले McDonald's से Sega games लाएं.
So So that was a quick look at some classic Sonic commercials. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, let me know some of your own favourite ads in the comments. Thanks for watching this video, and look out for more reviews coming soon.
Thank you.